was at my job yesterday and had a pretty big package that I had to lug up. It must have been like 45 steps. It's like 3 separate flights of stairs. It was about 80 degrees. Humidity. Because where I live, it's pretty humid. Starting to get, and it gets really humid in the summer, man. And so I'm lugging these things up these stairs to this chick's apartment. She has some, like, I could hear, I think her husband was in the apartment and he was like way in there, like on some meeting call. Like he's just on some meeting call. You know, like all these people are on these meeting calls, bro. I swear to God, they're all on meetings. They're just constantly in meetings, bro. What are you meeting about? It's absurd. And it's like, they're not even in person meetings. They're on Skype or on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever. I don't want to live a life of being on Google Meet meetings. What kind of life is that, man? Might as well just snip my fucking sack. Just snip my sack and just fucking, you can just take it. You can take it, you can do whatever you want with it. You can fucking put it in a museum, you can sell it. And I'm looking these things up. Heavy shit, man. It's heavy, bro. It's heavy. So like I get up, you know, all 3 flights of just like one trip, and I had to make 4 with just one trip, and I'm just like, you know, it's a workout, bro. It's heavy. You know, the back's aching, you're sweating. And yeah, she's just like, she just don't even know what to do. I'm just like manhandling the shit, bringing it into her fucking sterile ass fucking apartment where her husband's on his cuck meeting. And by the end of it, I'm just dripping, bro. Dripping, bro. Dripping. Red face, just dripping. I just reek, probably. Like, and I don't wear deodorant too, because I think that shit's terrible for you, and I don't think human beings need deodorant. We existed for thousands of years without it, and women seem to sleep with us just fine. So I think there's probably a lot of natural pheromones in that shit. I never get complaints, you know. They'd probably lie about it anyway. They'd be like, "Oh, you stink," and really they're like, "Oh my God, this shit is unbelievable. I love this shit. So let me tell him that he stinks, so like he doesn't have like, so his smell doesn't have power over me or anything." That's a woman, man. She'd probably just lie to you. She'd probably just, the only thing that she ever tells you is the opposite of what she wants you to do. That's actually the surest way to figure out what a woman wants. Is just whatever she's saying, just do the opposite. But anyway, so yeah, I finally get it done, and I'm just like dripping, and she's just like, I've had this experience multiple times. They just love it, man. They just love it. They just love to see just a man who's just like dripping, you know, big, tall, just dripping, just like, just did the work, all the work for them. Just do all the work. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of everything. All the logistics, all the, you know, how are we going to do things? Because all these things are different, man. Every single place that I go to is different. You get different concierge who, you know, some of them want to, like the other day, she wanted to literally manhandle my bin, like stop me from going out the front door. That's another story, man. Holy shit, that woman was ridiculous. Ridiculous, bro. I've never seen anything like that. She was old. She was old, and she was black. She just so happened to be black. And not seeing that there's any correlation. No. But she was like tiny and stocky, and She was serious about her job. I could tell she probably had some experiences, you know, maybe been in prison a couple times, who knows. But fucking yeah, you get different concierges, and they all, you know, some of them want to make your life difficult. Some of them are just chill. You got different loading places. Sometimes you got to go through the front. Sometimes you got to go through the back. Sometimes the stairs are terrible and you can't get them through, and you have to take them up by, you know, you got to finagle certain things. Some take them up by hand a little bit. Some of the customers are wild. They got these wild ideas, and I have to be like, no, gotta, you know. There's all these different like logistics of how we go about, you know, getting these things um, up to the customer, and I so I mean, they just love it, man. They love it, but it's like I don't know, man. I think I've. It's like I feel like I'm starting to feel like I belong in a different time or a different world. It's just like all these women that I see out on the street, because I drive a lot, and I, you know, drive through the city, and I be seeing all these women on the street, and they look good, man. They look good. They look good. They look, you know, there's nothing wrong with the way that they look. They're hot. They're attractive. But you can just tell, man, all these women, it seems like damn near every single one. When you step outside your front door, damn near every single one of them, they're just masculine. They were raised in a dominant feminine time where like they don't even know what a man is at his peak when he's fully retaining his energy, his masculine energy, fully resting in that, fully realizing that, living through that, looking through that lens, living life through that lens, learning through that lens, processing through that lens, adapting through that lens, growing through that lens. They just never. I honestly think women just don't. Uh, they don't even know how like weird, how like off and unnatural this world that they've grown up in is. They're used to all this. They just think that all this is normal. They think it's all normal to have dudes that just constantly thirst chase and are, you know, like hounds on dating apps and social media and giving them constant attention and approval and are just lust monsters and just they want to be friends. Let's all just be friends and go out and hang out and go to the bar and go to the club and go travel and go to this experience and that experience and go to this concert and that concert and go to Burning Man and going to Coachella and dressing up and having all these experiences, and we're all just the same. We're all just, you know, we have sex sometimes. Sometimes we don't, and it's like they just think it's like, and all these men, they're like, you know, kind of effeminate. Are they a man? Are they a woman? You know, it kind of depends on the day. It depends on the lighting that you're looking at them in. And it's like, you know, they're kind of just used to this, man. They're used to dudes. They're used to like the dudes, you know, progressing up in society and just like working behind a desk, making like 150K a year. And just, you know, in Google meetings all day, working behind a desk, just typing. In Google meetings all day, you know, talking about how things can be streamlined and be made more efficient and more diverse and more inclusive, and how can we make this more ergonomic, and how can we employ some tolerance into this? Are we you know what I mean? It's just like, who are these dudes? Like, who, like, they're just used to seeing men like this all around them, bro. They're used to just seeing men like this, that treat like that just want to interact with them and go, and they think that there's some rhyme or reason to the things that they say. Like, women, like, dudes dudes talking to women think that, like, when they talk to them, like, if it's friend or girlfriend or boyfriend, like, they think that women have like a rhyme or reason to what they're saying. It's like, bro, she's just saying stuff, bro. You don't see that she's just saying stuff. There is no, like, end point. There's no beginning, there's no end. There's no actual point here. Because to have a point would be to, like, be set on something. But a woman is, depending on what people approve of in the room, that point is going to just move constantly. It's a constant moving point of what she believes and what she wants. It just depends on the people in the room, man, what they approve of and what they don't. They're moldable, bro. They're moldable. They're just, you can just mold them like clay. But they think it's like they think that these women are like solid structures that, like, oh, I can understand her. Oh, I can understand her. What? No, bro. You'll never understand a woman, bro. It's what is it? There's a term for it. Oh my God. It's mm, I can't figure out the word. Fuck. But there's a term for it. It's they don't they're not compatible. It's literally opposite. Um, this is gonna drive me insane, bro. But you can't understand, like, like, woman, and to understand woman, like, to put that in front of woman, that is just don't make sense. That's an impossibility. It's an impossibility. Um, but I have to let that go, so I can keep making this video, because I'll just rest on that for forever if I don't. But yeah, man. And I used to, bro, I had an experience when I got out of the Navy a couple years ago. I didn't really have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of prospects. I was just, bro, I was down on my luck. It was dark. It was a dark time. It was a dark time. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. And I moved in with an old friend, and she was a friend from high school. That was back when, like, I thought, like, men and women are friends. you know? Because I guess we were just raised it. Yeah, it's just interesting. But, like, yeah, men and women are friends. And so I moved in with her into her apartment. She had a 2-bedroom apartment, so we had separate bedrooms, and we got along great for the first year. And dude, I know, dude, don't even. I know, I I didn't have a lot of money, and it wasn't my best moment. But at the time, that's how, like, feminized I was, though. That was my brain. This is what I'm saying, bro. I was drained all the time. I was constantly releasing. So, like, I just didn't, I was like, yeah, I'll move in with a woman. I'll have no money. She even got me a job at a certain place. Like, bro, just trash. I was like, I was overweight. Like, I was a lot heavier back then, but it was just dark, bro. I was vaping. I think I was doing nicotine pouches, like 8 milligram nicotine pouches in the lip. Drinking beer, just like coffee. Like, this was like 2.5 years ago. So it was, and just didn't think anything was wrong. Obviously, I had my soul, like I knew something was wrong. Like there was something wrong. Obviously, I dealt with that internally, uh, but yeah, she was a classic. Like, bro, she's just red flags all over the place, and like she is cool, and I've known her since she was in high school, but she's red flags all over the place. Just not, if I'm being honest, she is not wife material at all. I'm just being honest. Red flags, just purest of the pure of red flag city. And she wanted just constant, man, experiences, fun. Women today, they just want constant experience and to have fun and just, oh, everything's about my emotions. And I just want to feel good all the time. And men should make me feel good. And all these even alpha male channels will tell you like, make sure that a woman's having fun. She loses interest if she doesn't have fun, bro. Those women that lose interest when they're not having fun, kick them, bro. You don't want those ones. Those are the ones. That's red flag city, bro. You don't want a woman like this. Women that are constantly chasing experiences. They want to go to this rave. They want to go to this bar. They want to go to this club. They want to do this sort of hiking trip. They want to go on this sort of boating trip. They want to go on this. They want to travel here. They want to travel there. They want to do this. They want to do that. They're constantly on social media, taking videos, taking snaps, taking pics. Like, bro, at all costs, and I'm saying this knowing full well that this is 98% of women today in the world. At all costs, you must curve. You must stay away from all of them. All of them, bro. That's all like demonic. That's all red flag city. That's all just like masculine brain. That's masculine mind brain. That's masculine raised, probably been ran through, like they've been cleaned out, bro. They've been completely cleaned out. And you don't like, they've just been cleaned out. Their minds are fucked. They're just, you don't want anything to do with them. They're gonna have a rough, the rest of their life, they're gonna come to some tough realizations, and it's gonna be rough to be them. You want to stay away from them, bro. So this woman that I was, she would, like, you think women are in charge? She was, get this, she was the property manager of an apartment complex, of the apartment complex that we lived in. She was the property manager, made pretty good money, bro. And she was like, she wasn't that good looking. Like she was, kind of overweight, a little bit, chubby, but she had a pretty face and all that stuff. She would come back from work. I'd be like just chilling, like watching some chess, eating, or playing some Xbox or whatever. I'd just be chilling, like with a thing in my lip. And I just like look, and she comes in just like a storm, and she's just like, I need to cry. And she just goes in her room and she just cries, into her pillow for like 30 minutes. Bro, she would do this at least bi-weekly, if not weekly. You know how often women cry, bro? They cry constantly. And like, we want a woman to be president of the United States. You know how often Kamala Harris probably cries? She probably cries like, bro, I mean, she'd cry a lot if she wasn't on like antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds and all this stuff that she's probably on. All these women would probably just be crying nonstop if they weren't on all the meds that they're on. I shouldn't even get into all the meds that this chick was on. But like, bro, all these chicks are on meds. They're all like drinking, vaping, on like, bro, drinking, vaping. They got IUDs. They got, all their hormones are all just fucked. They're on all these meds. All their minds are just completely like warped and just like trashed. They've been cleaned out a million times by men. Like, and they cry just constantly, like, in private, and they're just complete messes, bro. They're complete messes. And then they go out in the street and they go to Burning Man and they put on all this makeup, and they have like their Starbucks, or they get, they go with a couple girls, and they have like their Starbucks drinks, or and they're taking pics, and they look good with the makeup, and they pose and all this stuff like they're normal, and bro, they're all crazy, bro. They're crazy, bro. They're absolutely out of their minds. They're vessels for like the devil to do work. I'm telling you, bro. They're not. It's not like they're bad. It's not like they're bad people, but they're in they're in demonic way. Like, they're all fucked up, man. They're all fucked up. You want to stay away from these women at all costs. Holy shit. Good women. Good women. I'm starting to catch on, man. Like, good women. The women that you want are serious about, like, they know that to get what they want, to get a good man and to raise a family and to be like submissive, and her to take her feminine role, like, it's work to do. We have work to do, bitch. Like, bitch, we got work to do. Like, we can't be going out to Burning Man, and like, you can't be taking like Ozempic and fucking Wellbutrin and fucking crying a million times in your fucking room, and like drinking beer and going to softball. That was another thing. She loved softball. She just loved to do softball, and she was doing and kickball and volleyball. She was doing all these leagues and stuff, getting all like interacting with all these guys and stuff, going on different dates on dating apps. And I wasn't dating her, so I was just like, yeah, I mean, you're just wild, but like, as far as I knew, she was just like a friend. Like, you're my roommate, so like, you could do all this heinous shit, but I'm just looking at her. I'm like, you'll never, like, oh my god. At the time, I wasn't really thinking that clearly. Now I look back on it, but like, bitch, we got work. Like, we got work to do. Like, you need to be like chill, submissive, tender, loving. You need to have your mind about you. You're not taking all these meds. You need to have not been cleaned out, like a virgin, or like you maybe had one boyfriend or something. Like, you need to be like saving yourself. You need to be serious about this shit. Going to church, reading your Bible, like taking care of your body, not posting like your social media. You should either have no social media at all, none, or your social media is like very reserved. You're taking pictures of books and shit. You're taking pictures of like nature. Taking, like, maybe there's a picture of you like on a hike, like standing in some vista or whatever. But like, there ain't nothing like, you're not wearing like, tops that are like cut here, and like posing in like your yoga pants and shit, posing at the gym. Like, bro, one of my best friends, he had a baby mama, and like, her I shit you not, bro. I shit you not. This shit is wild. I shit you not. Her entire entire thing was posts. All her pictures were posts of her in the gym locker room taking pics of her ass, and in yoga pants. Not her bare ass, but like in yoga pants. That was her entire profile. It was just, you could go down and just all of them were just the same picture, just with different color yoga pants on, and she was just taking pictures of her ass in yoga pants. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What are we doing, bro? And like, you had a child with this. Oh, you had a child with this woman. Of course, they're not together anymore. No surprise. But like, this shit is nuts, bro. Nuts. Nuts. Women are fucking around out there. And like, they just don't understand that there's about 2% of women out there, I'm convinced, in the Western world, there's about 2% that actually are serious and they know what's going on. They know what's expected of them. They know what they got to be. Like they're good women that like just want a real thing. They want a loyal partner. They can be loyal. They want to raise children. They want to be a female. They want to be a woman. They don't want to be a man. They're like librarians and shit, or they work at a coffee shop, or I don't know what the hell they're doing. But they're not like trying to climb a corporate ladder and fucking they're on Google meetings like constantly and you know going to Burning Man. Fucking trying to they're just on this world domination like experience path. Like you want to stay away from the world dominators too, like all those corporate women who are just like they're just convinced they can just take over America. Like they're on just some world domination tear. Like they just wear suits all the time and they're just constantly about their work and business. Stay away from those ones too, man. They're masculine as hell. They're just masculine, bro. All these women are just masculine. They have no idea. They have no idea, bro. They're just so stupid, man. But we'll let them know. We'll be like, hey, you've done all this wrong. You're doing the wrong things. But I mean, if that's what they want, if they just want to go wild and just not have any real connections or have a family or at all be with a man that they actually love and respect and admire and want to serve and do things for and live a good life with, and I guess that's something you can do if you want to do that. But I don't think you'll be happy with the men that are into that. So times are changing. But yeah, stay away from 98% of these women, bro. They're atrocious. Anyway, that's it. This video.